But baseball is still in the headlines, not for the good reasons, of course.
Well, yeah, bad stuff. Bad stuff.
Yeah.
The last 2 days, Chris, big stories. And the Red Sox didn't even wait for Major League Baseball because the Astros waited.
Good for them.
Right?
Good for them. I'm not going to praise them for doing it, but good for them. They did the right thing, firing or as they're putting it, mutually parting way.
They fired Alex Cora. They're being nice.
Right.
When you say that, oh, yeah. No, Alex Cora had a contract making bank. He didn't just give up the job for no reason.
Right.
He got fired.
Great team. You're out of World Series, coming off a disappointing season. You know you want to get back and win it. He got fired.
Right.
And I'm going to say one thing to Alex. Hopefully he's listening. I don't know if he is or not. But Alex.
What's up, dude?
Apologize.
That is weird that's not in the statement. Now, I would say this, Chris. I've talked to Alex Cora. You know what I mean? Like, I got a little rapport. I'm not saying that I know him, so I'm not. But you know what I mean? Like, I've had conversations with him, been around him a little bit, and he's a baseball lifer. Everybody loves that guy. This is bad. There's no way of looking around this. Like now you're branded, and the worst part for Alex, unlike A.J. Hinch, is you took that and brought it to Boston. Like that's the
right.
Do you know what I mean?
You're kind of seen as the ringleader.
You could have been like, yeah, we did that in Houston. I finally got my job as a manager. I'm not doing that here. Could have been, right?
But some people, I think he played a prominent role in Houston.
No, right. But I'm just saying.
You could have been.
He could have cleaned a man.
But he apparently went in there. Hey, it worked in Houston.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
And we didn't get caught. We're going to do it here.
We won a World Series,
right.
And now we come in Boston. And now if you're a Red Sox fan, you're like, 2018, it was fraudulent.
And it was your best season
ever. It was the best season in the history of the Red Sox. Everybody mashing the ball. They won a World Series. Do you know who they beat that year, Chris? The Red Sox. Remember, they beat the Yankees in the playoffs, and they beat who else did they steamroll? I'm thinking the Dodgers. They beat like the two best teams. Easily, Chris. Easily.
Yep. No, it's bad, as you said. And you know who else is chiming in? Pete Rose.
No, Pete.
Pete Rose.
Why?
I'm a big look. I told you.
You're a Pete Rose
fan. I grew up in Cincinnati.
Charlie,
I remember going.
I thought you're from New Orleans. I mean, from Louisiana.
There, but we moved to Cincinnati. All right. Quick story. My grandfather had to get out of the South. He said he went one.
He couldn't do it.
He said he went to the one city above the Mason-Dixon line, and it was Cincinnati, Ohio. That's how my family did. Well, he was in World War II, and he met black soldiers from the North in the war, and they said, "Brother, you got to get out of the South.
What are you doing down there?
Right, up into the North," and that's what he did. So anyway, I grew up in Cincinnati as a kid, and we used to go to the Big Red Machine games, sometimes double headers.
No,
You're sitting through a double header.
What you can't even imagine now.
Oh, no.
We used to go to the ballpark, seriously. But remember, every game wasn't on TV. Every game didn't take 4 hours. Back then, the games were a lot quicker.
Oh, yeah.
Because they weren't on TV, so you might go to a double header, and it would be 6 hours for 2 games.
Yep.
Am I right?
But a baseball game in person is great.
Oh,
It was great. And Pete Rose was phenomenal. And
yeah, Joe Morgan and all Johnny
Tony
Bench.
Concepcion, Tony Perez. They were great.
Ken Griffey,
George
Senior.
Foster.
Right.
All those guys. But anyway, we know, of course, what has happened to Pete Rose. And Pete weighed in. He spoke to NJ.com. That's the paper in New Jersey.
Yep. Is that the Star Ledger?
New Jersey.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the Newark Star Ledger. And he said a lot. He thinks that what these guys did in the cheating is worse than what he did. Here's what Pete said. I bet on my own team to win. That's what I did in a nutshell. I was wrong, but I didn't taint the game. I didn't try to steal any games. I never voted against my team. I bet on my team every night because that's the confidence that I had in my players. And I was wrong. But the Astros situation, is a little different. It's a lot different, actually. And I think that's why the commissioner came down so hard. So what do you think, Rob?
No way,
Mr.
no
Baseball.
how am I
Really?
buying Pete Rose. No. And, Chris, first of all, as a gambler, right, don't tell me if some Cy Young Award winner was coming in and you got your best hitter wasn't playing tonight and you think to yourself, you know what I mean? Or we're scuffling, and like the best pitcher in the league is going to pitch against us tonight.
So I
don't buy that he only bet. That's his excuse.
But what's out there is that he only bet on his team. But I'm just saying.
Yeah,
but
I still don't believe that. If you're a real gambler,
is that something like in baseball circles? Do people think he did bet on his team?
Yes,
bet against his team.
Yes, I don't believe that. Like as a gambler, I'm not. Yeah, I don't believe that. But here's the other part. Here's what I've always said. That people, when they make that argument for Pete Rose, here's how he can affect the game even if he bets on his own team. There's a doubleheader coming up tomorrow, or you know what I mean, or makeup game.
Just another game.
Right? Or whatever. I got a big bet on tonight's game, Chris. I blow out my bullpen because I'm trying to win tonight. I got money on the game tonight. What about tomorrow? I've used my pitchers who I need for tomorrow because I'm trying to win. Have I affected the game tomorrow?
Yes.
So there's why the integrity, when you have money on the game, you can affect it even if you're betting on your own team. And when Chris, you covered baseball. What year did you cover the Indians when they went to the World Series?
95, yep.
So you covered baseball. When you walk into a Major League Baseball clubhouse, there's nothing bigger than the sign on the wall about what? Gambling.
Yep.
Am I right?
Yep.
It says if you gamble, you'll be banned for life. It's right there. It's big as day. That is the biggest sign in that clubhouse because once you mess with the integrity of the game, Chris, you don't have a game.
No, I hear you, Rob, and you're making great points. I think that let's assume, just because that's all that's proven, let's assume that he only bet on his team to win. Then I think what's bad about this is the association with gambling, with gamblers. I mean, what if you're losing? Now you got guys who you owe money to who now can come to you and now they can threaten you. Look, you owe us this much money. We need you to lose. You know what I mean? So that's where I think baseball is like, look, even if you only bet on your own team, you put yourself in harm's way, to say the least.
All you got to do,
and you put the game in harm's way.
How about if they say we need you to go 0 for 4 tonight? You're you're the big guy, right?
Well, yeah. If we're talking about a manager, of course. But if you're
I'm just
a player,
saying,
yeah.
Even when he was playing, I mean, or in a situation. So I do get that.
I just think anything in pro sports that's affiliated with gambling, point shaving, all of that stuff, that is going to be worse. That said, I get where Pete Rose is coming from in that, look, I did not, according to him, I bet on my team to win. That's all that's proven. You know,
they have all the betting slips. I'm looking for a story because I don't believe that.
He can say, like, these guys actually cheated during the game.
All right, here's my pushback to Pete Rose and to that. Is that if it was by knowing what pitch was coming, that it was like this a magical elixir, how did they lose any games?
Well, it's still hard, even if I know you're throwing a fastball
but that's
97 miles an hour.
Even if I know it doesn't mean automatically I'm going to be able to hit it and still win the game.
But here's the difference,
and I'm not trying to excuse it, Chris. All I'm saying is that's why you're hard-pressed to take away a championship.
No. I disagree with that.
See, I don't.
Because here's the thing. We're talking about world-class athletes. I bring this up all the time. The difference between first place, a championship, and not even making the playoffs is minute in terms of talent. The difference between winning the 100-meter dash and the gold medal and finishing out of the medals is like 2-3 of a second. And so if I have just a slight advantage, that can be the difference between me winning and me losing. I mean, we're talking about the absolute best athletes in the world. So, yeah, okay, I might, instead of, going 1 for 4, maybe I go 2 for 5, or 2 for 4. That extra hit made all the difference. And obviously, I'm not going to hit it every time, even if I know it's a curveball coming or a fastball
coming. It ain't
coming.
that. You might hit it at somebody.
It's still not easy, but I've said it. I think they should have vacated the title because that takes away all of the incentive for an organization to cheat, does it not?
But I think there's
because why am I cheating if I might lose it? I want to win a World Series.
I understand why.
I might lose the World. The players still will have incentive.
I understand
because they want the numbers, the big contract, and all that.
I get
but
that.
For an organization, no.
Yeah, I've never been big into that when they try to tell me or they tell the Fab Five to take down their banners and Reggie Bush, give me back this and all that. I've just never been into like what I saw and what we witnessed. It's already tainted in people's minds, right? Whether you take it back or not, you now look at the Astros. You look at that organization the same way. Remember that?
Not now.
You
but
don't.
What about 30 years from now? What about the people
They'll
that
remember
come
that.
after us?
That'll be
it
all.
Won't be as big of a deal.
All that stuff will be in the Baseball Hall of Fame forever, like history. Like Pete Rose is in the Baseball Hall of Fame. All of his stats are, all of his trophies, they're there.
Right.
But also, what the negative thing that happened in the gambling. So, I just think this is like this is typical Pete Rose, though.
You know what else he said?
What?
He said this, which I don't even agree with him on this, but he said that the only signs he would take, because, both you and I agree, if it's organic, if it's on the field and I'm on second base,
and I can see that, and the catcher's lazy, right?
I see his signals.
He doesn't cover his fingers, right?
Yeah, I know a curveball's coming, whatever, and I tell my batter, that's fine.
That's part of the game. If I could relay to you, if I could see the catcher didn't cover up his fingers. He was, for whatever reason, he was lazy. And I saw the 2 down. I said, and I'm telling my guy at the plate.
Yep.
And I could somehow touch my helmet. That's a 2 coming, a deuce.
That's really no different than what all the NFL quarterbacks do, and college for that matter, nowadays. They're pointing out blitz coming.
Right, I see
them.
Right.
Coverages. Right. It's no different, really. Okay, so, but Pete Rose said he would not even take the signs from a teammate who was at second base.
That.
He said he'd take him for the third base coach if he was trying to steal or whatever, suicide squeeze. But he said he would never take him from the. Well, he said he didn't want to because if you're wrong,
right?
What if you're wrong?
Maybe,
you're not going to be. And that's one thing I'd like to see. I don't know if they mentioned it in the report and I missed it, but what was the accuracy rate on the calls that they were making?
No, I don't know.
Were they right 90% of the time? Were they right 50% of the time? You know what I mean? Yeah. It's hard for me to believe you were right all of the time.
But there were was it Rich Hill with the Dodgers who changed the thing every inning?
Yes.
Every inning
but
he went because
why?
Because
there's cheaters in baseball.
Because he felt like something was going on, so he changed them every inning, which says a lot that they thought something was happening.
All right,
but Pete Rose is like he's an opportunist. Like I wasn't as bad as what I did. Right. This is because he still wants to get in the Hall of Fame and he's not getting in.
Charlie Hustle.
This is interesting.
Is Pete Rose just being an opportunist?
Yes, because he did it with the steroid. He was like, that's worse than what I did. And you let guys in who took steroids. Now it's like, the stealing signs is worse than what I did. And you let those guys. All
right, let's see what they say. Maybe
Pete.
They think he's got a point. Let's start with Sam in Seattle. Sam, you're on with Chris and Rob. Welcome to the Odd Couple.
Yo, guys, I'd just like to say that Pete Rose is a habitual liar. He's been lying his whole life, him and A-Rod. And had he done it back when they told him, hey, did you do this? He probably might have gotten in the Hall of Fame by
Not
now.
probably, Sam. I'm telling you right now, had he apologized, come clean from the beginning, yes, I gambled, and I'm going to Gamblers Anonymous, I have a problem, and I didn't mean to hurt baseball, he would be in the Hall of Fame. Totally agree.
I'd just like to say, maybe people don't remember, a lot of people loved Pete Rose at that time, and he just ruined it for himself. The second thing I got to say is that for the Astros, it was well worth it. Give me that ring.
Well, you giving them the
come on, man. Yeah, but it's tainted though, Sam. It's tainted.
Hey, I 100%. But are they taking that World Series banner
down? Do you
down?
think they should? You agree with me that they should take it away?
Oh, okay. They should go extremely crazy. They should ban the owner for 3 years and take his toy away. They should ban those guys for 5 years. They should go to the Red Sox, take that banner away, and tell John Henry you got to sit out for 3 years. And they should take 7 rounds of 2020 and 2021 away from them.
Wow. You would
Good
never.
thing Eric's not commissioner.
Sam and me. Sam, thanks for the call.
They should ruin baseball.
Ruin
no
baseball.
season.
Basically, you would ruin the game. Eric in Long Beach, you're on The Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. Eric.
Love the show. Thanks for taking my call. I got
Thank
two
you.
quick points. First of all, Pete Rose, whatever. The dude's a liar.
That's what everybody knows, Pete. He always shows up when something bad happens to try to make a case for himself. That's why nobody takes it with
But if baseball really wants to do something about this, if they're not going to take the World Series championship away from Houston, they should take those picks, give them to the Dodgers, and they should also let the Dodgers go in that farm system and pick whoever they want.
That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea.
Yeah, that's what I think should happen.
And the Dodgers would get Red Sox picks and Astros picks, right?
Wow.
Because those are the picks they're taking away.
Well, you know what's interesting, and this again goes to whether or not they should have vacated the titles.
Thanks, Eric.
Great story in ESPN today on ESPN.com by Jeff Passan. And
who's a very good baseball writer. You know that.
He talked about how the sentiment around the league is that the Astros got off light, particularly the owner, Jim Crane. And he said that one executive at the end of the story, anonymous, of course, said he thinks 25, maybe all 30 of the general managers in baseball would cheat and take their just desserts of what the Houston Astros just got for that championship.
Yeah, I don't know about that. I think
you got to see it. He said, "Would you cheat
I don't
and do this to win that championship?"
I don't want it like that because
I think he may have talked about owners, maybe the owners, because the owner did nothing happened to the owner.
No, I get that.
GM obviously you lost your job.
But you know what I mean?
But
as an
owner,
as a GM, that's a bad look for you. I mean, everybody could act like it doesn't matter.
What about as an owner?
Well, I mean,
the owner got nothing.
And the owner was quoted as saying it didn't taint anything. I don't know about that.
He's trying to say that, of
He's
course.
saying it. Andrew in Richmond.
That was just Andrew.
No, that wasn't Andrew.
Rob and Chris, how you guys
ahead.
doing tonight?
Good. How are you?
Man, how are you?
Doing well. I guess y'all kind of got to my question. My question really was, I guess, and then I got kind of a second point.
Okay.
That if you knew you were going to get that penalty, would you take it for the chance to win?
I don't want to win like that.
The players.
I don't want to win like that, like the Bill Belichick and the Patriots and all that. The reason the Patriots don't get the love that they should, considering all the winning that they've done, is that people have question marks about how much of it was legit and how much shenanigans. Do you agree or disagree with that, Andrew?
I agree with you. I agree with you. Where my problem with that comes in the Twitter world that we live in, nobody knows what happened last week. So 10 years from now,
the news cycle is so short.
You can't tell, but you can't tell that story, the Patriots story, without including that stuff in there. And that's my point. That will always be there.
Most people
still are a dynasty for just one World Series. I think it gets swept under the rug in 20 years from now.
Don't you want yours to be legit?
I wouldn't do it because I feel like I got more integrity than that. But I'm thinking of the players. A lot of players. What's to stop them? None of them got anything. What's to stop them from doing it again? They still get their World Series. They still get their great stats. If whatever contracts may have come out of that, winning the championship, they still get, Let's go to Tony in Los Angeles. Tony, you're on with Chris and Rob.
A.J. Hinch and Alex Cora got Joe Girardi fired because the Yankees were up it was 3-0 or 3-1, and then they got swept out. And Joe Girardi was saying, I think they're stealing our signs, and then he got fired because he was 1 game away from the World Series.
Yes.
And then another thing, there's a theft element in here. When you win the World Series, you get a $300,000 bonus from the league, and the loser gets $200,000. So that other $100,000 that they got over the Dodgers, that's stolen money. That's larceny right there. They have to give that back, or they have to give it to the Dodgers.
Tony, one more thing. How about
keep Tony on? I want to ask him a question.
How about Clayton Kershaw's legacy? What if you look at Clayton Kershaw and say they knew what was coming and I got tattooed? I'm serious. His legacy might have been damaged because of this.
No question.
Tony, what do you think?
You guys know who Rick Monday is, right?
Sure, Rick Monday.
He's the radio guy on the Dodgers. While it was going on in Houston, he said, "I think they're stealing our signs." While it was happening on the radio,
so he said it on the air.
Wow. On the air.
Let me ask you this, Tony. You appear to be a Dodgers fan,
right?
So if I think they should have just vacated the titles from the Red Sox if it that comes to pass, and the Astros. what if they gave – I don't think they should have given them to the Dodgers. But, Tony, as a Dodger fan, would you feel good or be satisfied if they gave those titles to the Dodgers?
That's a good question. I want to hear your answer.
Go ahead.
No, they should just take it away and say that there was no winner. There was no winner.
Because the Dodger fans wouldn't feel good about if they said, "Okay, Dodgers, you won those 2 World Series."
Right.
Nobody's going to
play either. I wouldn't
fan,
feel good,
right?
right?
Let's slide.
As a player, I wouldn't want.
You wouldn't want that.
Yeah,
it was phony.
JC in Richmond, Virginia, on with Chris and Rob.
Hey guys, appreciate you guys taking my call. I wanted to just ask Rob, you're a Hall of Fame voter.
Yes.
Does this kind of take away, I guess, your ability to kind of look at someone like Verlander and other people who are involved in something like this moving forward as a Hall of Fame voter?
You know what?
You guys.
Thanks,
fellas.
JC, and that's a great question too. And I'm the one thing I am is they have to be somewhat punished by the league in order for me. I don't think that's my job. Like even with the steroid guys, like Barry Bonds, for whatever Chris is out there, was never suspended.
Right.
Was never suspended, never tested positive.
But what about the guys that did get caught?
Those are the guys I don't vote for.
Okay.
So that you see what I'm saying?
These guys, would you vote for? They were caught.
I don't know. I mean, I'd have to look at the whole thing, but because I don't know did everybody participate. We don't have all that. I don't have all that knowledge for me to say that everybody. There might be a guy, Chris, of great integrity and faith, who said, I'm not taking part of it. That's why Mike Friars, is that his name?
Yeah.
Who came out and put his name to it.
Right.
Right? He said, this is what we were doing. That tells me about him and his, because Chris, you become persona non grata when you do that, right?
No doubt. No doubt.
Anonymous players do that. Very few guys put their name and say, this is what we did. That's how this thing got busted.
What's happening, y'all? It's Chris Broussard.
I'm Rob Parker.
And we are
The Odd Couple. Check us out as often as you can on YouTube.
And always remember, I'm Oscar and he's Felix.
Oh, man. Are you serious?